some farm now that he doesn't have to deal with direct confrontation with the Paquito. In the meantime, Cypher runs into Saiyajin. Probably not too much going to happen, but looks like they're going for an engagement up here in top lane. Gonna be able to set up Saiyajin with the ejector and immediately drops to the damage. And Maul going to be the next one to come. Tempest the Blade is used to avoid damage. And Nip going to be able to tank the tower shots with his doppelgangers as well. In the mid lane, Irfan gonna be the target of Ogi's shadow kill, but he's way too tanky, and Aaron doesn't have enough damage just yet.
Nope, nothing they can do there for now as Homeboys continue to dominate their lanes. They're 2K ahead, 4 minutes into the game. A little bit better compared to the previous match from Red Esports. However, they can't afford to lose this. Orange buff Saiyajin trying to stop GB as he gets the Tyrant's Revenge and the Revenge. Flickering for the death. Vince goes with the Darkening to take him out so quickly. Aaron, does he have Retribution? No, he does not. It's still going to be contested, and you can see Maul is getting punished for the amount of pressure that they have. Aaron able to still take his orange buff for himself, but Irfan, you can see once they lose that side lane, right? This mid lane, it's looking tough. They're forcing them in. One shot! Gets one shotted by Irfan straight away. No counterplay there.
Oh, and that's the signature Irfan Paquito there. Gonna jump on top of Aaron as well. Has to use the Ogi Shadow Kill to get away. Will be able to escape, but Saiyajin will eat dirt in return. Meanwhile, Chibi happily taking the jungle without even needing to participate in the team fight.
Such strong side lane play coming out of Irfan. The pressure he exerts, the oppression is just paying out big time for him. He even gets the Bloodlust Axe at level 9. He's got the War Axe and the Bloodlust Axe at 5 minutes, 50 seconds in the game.
Not to mention the fact that Anip has a Corrosion Scythe and Dominus Ice already. The side laners for Homeboys proving to be able to farm even more efficiently than their jungle. This is such a difficult game for Red Esports right now.
Yeah, Maul is getting heavily pressured now, and this is not good because the moment Anip is able to get that Demon Hunter sword on top of everything else, this game just becomes so difficult. Look how fast he's just shredding down that tier 2. And now, here we go. Maul tries to smash the Blazing Duet. It's not going to be enough here as Chibi pulls himself out. He didn't want to go any further, seeing that Saiyajin was nearby.
Maul not really able to get his powers back just yet. He's only got the Demon Hunter sword right now, still looking for the... Oh, Cypher finds Harry with the ejector. Oh, where did that come from? Harry literally not realizing that he was dead before already having one foot in the grave.
This is rough. This is such a rough game for Red right now. They can't take their buffs. Oh, Oki Shadow Kill is coming out. Flame Shot as well. Can he get the kill out to Cypher? He fights it. Finally getting a kill back for himself. 9-3 is the score. 6K behind. Homeboys still looking good.
But Red Esports not going to be as far behind comparatively in this game. Still quite a big gap they're going to have to make up. But their scaling needs to come into play very, very soon. Otherwise, they'll find themselves in a similar position where they simply don't have enough damage to deal with their opponents as of yet. 7.5 minutes into the game, already a 6K gold lead for Homeboy.
All right, Red Esports, they just need to hold on for as long as possible here. If they can drag this game out to about 15 minutes and get one good team fight, Maul could instantly shred the entire team from the Homeboys. But Irfan, he's not going to let that happen. He's trying to speed up this process. He's eating all the shots here. Aaron, he doesn't even use the Oki Shadow Kill as the Blazing Duet comes in strong with the Yin Yang Overturn, but Chibi manages to dodge multiple ults to take out Maul, take out Saiyajin, trading 2 for 2 for Cypher and Irfan. They continue to trade up.
That was a 4v5 situation, and Homeboy still came out with a 2 for 2 trade, not to mention taking the turtle thanks to the hands of Anip. Aaron, where did he go? Just melts away from existence. Harry gets chased off the tier 2 himself as Homeboys take yet another tower to their name. Jakbu not going to be able to land the stun. Chibi is too fast.
He really is. He really, really is. Homeboys are just playing really well today. It feels like they are on fire right now. They're playing even better than they were before, and some may say even fresher before. 5 times freshness with every single one of their GGs. It feels like they're hitting their peaks.
Indeed, indeed. This is the glory days of Homeboys right now, when Red Esports are the unfortunate victims of the uprising. This is just such a comfortable game for them. 60 seconds until the next Lord comes up. Homeboys should have no problem keeping control over the rest of the jungle. Let's have a look at the items that they've built so far. Pretty standard overall, but Homeboy is definitely looking to be quite ahead in terms of their individual net worth.
Yeah, I mean, individual net worths can't be compared. So far, Maul is the only one who can actually start to compete in terms of his own net worth. He's got 2 items down, but I think at this point he's going to need a rush to get some defensive items. Probably going to be going for a Winds of Nature at the very least to dodge the damage from Chibi, or maybe even Stifle for that point. But now on him, look at him, he's just throwing in doppelgangers and after doppelgangers. They are not going down that fast, and that is a very worrying sight for Red Esports.
Those doppelgangers eat so many hits. Sure, they don't do a lot of damage, but that's gonna be a lot of distraction for Homeboys, especially since Red Esports wants to save as many of their abilities as possible for important targets. But Stifle gets the ejector onto Cyajin. Doesn't quite manage to keep him in place as the flicker will come out. Anip jumps on top of Chakbu with Chibi, giving him the monster kill streak. Stifle throws one of Anip's doppelgangers back out in safety, but unfortunately Aaron pops out of the Ogi shadow kill in a very unfortunate position and finds himself dead for his trouble.
Oh no, that was just really poorly timed from Red Esports. Mal had just used his battle mirror image. He wanted to get into the middle here. He manages to get the kill onto Stifle, but Irfan, can he win this 1v1? He's trying his best. He's already at 1 knockup strike, and Chibi comes to the rescue to get on top of Mal. Battle mirror image is going to get him out into that safety, and they find the kill onto Anip. 3 for 2 trade-off here. Chakbu getting hard targeted by the Homeboys, being the only disengage mechanic that they have.
Homeboy still managing to trade up in terms of objectives. However, I am a little bit concerned that they might be throwing a little bit too much into Red Esports. They do still have to be aware that Claude is one of the best late game scaling marksmen in the game, and if he is able to start getting those stacks, his damage is going to be something that they don't really have a lot of options to deal with.
How many more options do they have? It's 11 minutes into the game. All right, it's not as bad as game number 1. Red Esports could very easily hold out. They just need to focus on that wave clear and really start scaling to at least the 32k mark. And even then, there is no guarantee that they can hold on with a Lord pushing coming in from Homeboys here, as there is going to be no contestation. That's going to be Berserker's Fury coming in from Chibi. If Chibi can find that kill onto Mal early on into the fight, it's going to be GG for Red Esports.
Once again, Maul going to be the last hope for Red here. He's not playing the jungle, but seems like he's still playing that very important position for his team. The entire game basically rides on his Claude being able to get the farm and scaling he needs, as well as a beautiful blazing duet. That is the miracle that Red Esports needs to make happen right now, or Homeboys will be able to walk away with another victory.
Oh, they have to play for the peel here, but unfortunately saying
Stifle!
He gets sent back all the way to the back, just continuously pushing.
And the Lord going in down the bottom lane. Aaron gets punched up, and Chibi gonna not allow him to escape, instantly ending the game. Homeboys have learned from past mistakes and are not going to give their opponents any opportunity to retaliate. A 2-0 victory in Homeboys' favor, and perhaps one of the most one-sided series we have seen in the entire season.
Oh my goodness, GG well played to the Homeboys this time. They have grown so much, and now they are showing that they can play off of their side lanes, not just their mid lane as well. They're showing a versatility in their line of play. They are showing a lot of growth, and more importantly, they know how to push a lead.
They really, really do. This is so incredible to see the growth in Homeboys ever since last season. We identified one of their main weaknesses in Season 7 was the fact that even if they had an aggressive early game, they didn't know how to close it out, and oftentimes got counterplayed in the mid to late game and ended up losing. Well, guess that's not happening anymore. What do you guys at home think? Who is your MVP after some amazing games from Homeboys? Make sure to hashtag MPL MyRealMVP. Tell us who your real MVP is and why.
Oh man, don't forget, use that hashtag MPL MyRealMVP so that we can see the comments that happen. And please come up with something creative. You saw yesterday's one, people were getting really smart with the hashtags, and I like that evolution. But again, the mystery reward rewards up for grabs. All you gotta do is follow the steps down below. Let's check out these highlights here by Yudu to kind of rewatch what just happened here, because so far I think Red Esports had a really good idea in terms of what they wanted to do. If they just continue to trade 1-for-1 against the Homeboys time after time, just go even for at least 10 minutes, I think Red Esports would have been on the track to victory. But Homeboys, the side laners, Irfan, my goodness, he's getting even more oppressive.
Yep, and we can't count out Anip as well. He's certainly not a name you bring up often, but he's been playing out of his mind, farming at the same speed as Irfan, surpassing that of even Chibi. Unfortunately, Red Esports is a team that's very traditionally leaning towards the late game. They want to be able to scale and take over the game towards the end. However, if they're not even allowed to reach that point in the game, they find themselves in very awkward position, in stagnant waters, and Homeboys are just very effective at taking advantage of them.
I mean, they played well. They played so well there. Anip did a really good job. I think, you know, considering that Anip had one of the harder matchups, especially when he's up against Claude with an Avarice, it is not an easy one, but Anip played it well. Irfan had a dominating lane against Harry. Harry made one mistake. That's when Irfan told the call, yo, Chibi, bro, come on over down to the bottom side of the map. We're going to make him cry.
You can't give Irfan his signature Paquito. That's just asking to be punished in the side lane. If you don't have a situation where you can take advantage of that fact or play around it, this is not a hero you can allow to go into Homeboys' grabs. I can see that Red Esports went in with a little bit of a plan, recognizing that they could give that over to them, but I just don't see how they would have been able to deal with it. I think a lot was riding on Saiyajin's ability to be able to prevent the full-on engage, but when there's so many sources of DPS coming out from Homeboys, there's only so much a lone tank can do.
I mean, it's not just on Saiyajin. Saiyajin, he plays in that hybrid role of, yes, I want to peel for my team, but more importantly, I want to look for that big engage to turn things around. A lot of that disengage and a lot of that sandbagging has to go over to Chakbu, and I think Homeboys, they identified it really quick through the mid game. It's like the only person who's really going to stop us right now is that Yin Yang overturn. And my god, did Seifel make sure that Kagura could not unleash it in time.
Seifel was making so many good catches on the enemy team. Just flicker and get the ejector out, and all of a sudden, I'm dead. That's what happened to the members of Red Esports who happened to be within his target. But just really well played to the Homeboys overall. Clean decision making, clean coordination. It's just undeniable that they deserve these victories. Ending yet another game in 12 minutes, a very quick victory, ending up with 10k in terms of a gold lead. Red Esports put up a bit more of a fight this time, but they were still able to come up with a 40k damage advantage. Every tower, every lord, every turtle once again. Red Esports literally cannot take a single tower off of Homeboys.
Yep. Man, that was rough. It was rough, but Homeboys, you have to give it to them. When they are hot and on fire, they really are hot and on fire there. The carry Chibi, the rich guy Chibi, Sandbag being Saiyajin, and Forgotten One Seifel. What a game this was.
Yep, 900 gold per minute on Chibi. He was having the time of his life, and what jungler wouldn't when your side lanes are basically carrying the game on their own without even needing you to participate? You just have to go in, get a cheeky kill once in a while. Okay, that's all you guys need. All right, I'm gonna go back to farming.
Oh boy, this feels this feels like just big CEOs of corporations just walking in. It's just like, oh, you know, all the work is going well. I'm just gonna come in, collect that paycheck, send some orders, and I'm back out.
Yep. Homeboys, a well-oiled machine here. Looking forward to seeing if there'll be continued growth from this team, Red Esports. Unfortunately, I think this is one of those rock, paper, scissors situations where, unfortunately, no matter how hard they try, their gameplay, their strategy, their style just hits a very odd place when dealing with the Homeboys here, and they're just really incompatible.
You know, honestly, you bring up a great analogy of rock, paper, scissors, because that's what I feel like the teams in the MPL are kind of facing. If not against the Homeboys, it'd be Orange Esports from the side of Group A. It's just,
True.
There's no going around that simple fact.
No, the teams aren't weak. They're very solid players overall. But when they happen to go up against specific opponents, it just hits that vulnerable point, that weak point exactly on the head. You could say the same with Orange Esports and RSG as well. RSG is by no means a weak team. But when they're playing against Orange, they're basically playing in the epic bracket.
I mean, don't forget about Team Boss Score as well. They were able to get some games off of Red, and you know, slowly but surely they are stealing away a couple of games, some from Todak and also from the Homeboys as well. So it's rather interesting how this rock paper scissor matchups are going to be between the teams. Now let's check out the MVP here, powered up with KFC, going over to Chibi with his perfect game score, 8-0-7, match KDA, 6.2 average KDA.
This is one of those games where the MVP is Chibi, that's for sure. Just looking at his KDA, you can understand that. But literally any player could have gotten the MVP achievement here. This title could have gone to any of them. Just a really solid gameplay coming out from every member of the Homeboys. And I'm very excited to see if they'll be able to continue this kind of performance.
Yeah, I really hope they do, because they are looking like promising prospects to maybe even go to M3 if they keep performances like this up. They just need to do it against bigger, badder teams.
What a game one, what a first series of the day there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to see what else the day has in store for us compared to the intense, long competitive games we saw from yesterday. We saw some really short stomps coming out from Homeboys. Let's see what you guys think.
Well, this one's coming in from Fendi Align. Thank you so much for the comment. Vince using Selena is the real MVP for the Homeboys, because every abyssal arrow that Vince throws out always is gonna hit on point. Oh my goodness! Again, he mentions that thank you so much. Wait, not really thank you. I'm getting the translations wrong here.
It's like good luck to both teams.
Yes, good competition. I couldn't get the phrase out. Good competition between the two teams that win and as well as lose. What's important is that Esports Malaysia continues to live. Again, very wholesome message, Fendi. And unfortunately, my BM is getting more and more rusty. The more I read these comments, I always seem to like fumble up on a couple of phrases.
I do really like the last line though. We're all hoping that esports in Malaysia continues to thrive and we continue to discover more of these amazing potential prospects through the MPL. Let's see what has changed in the standings for Group B after that victory from the Homeboys. They're still going to be sitting in third place, but have caught up in quite a big way, now only 1 point behind Todak and GeekFam.
Yep, they're catching up really, really fast here, but it looks like this is going to be what the standings are going to be looking like for week number 5 here. Even if Todak drops their upcoming game, it's not going to be that bad. They need to catch. They have one more game to play, and the same goes for Team Boss Score. Everybody else has completed their 8 games, all against each other, so it's looking kind of rough here. I think if they drop, wait, is it enough? If Todak ends up losing this upcoming game, will GeekFam go up? No. They would still have the match win rate ahead of GeekFam.
Yep, the standings are probably going to remain like this for Group B, but we're going to have to keep an eye on how they shift once we get into inter-group matches, which are going to start happening next week.
Exciting stuff, super exciting stuff. Man, I'm still a little bummed out that my BM is deteriorating. Maybe because we don't have the quickie for this season.
True.
It's unfortunate, but don't worry. We're going to be throwing you over to the analyst for the interview. Let's throw it over to Shamilo and as well as LaFell.
Hello.
Hello.
Anip,
Hello.
yes. Anip, so again, just nak cakap big congratulations berjaya untuk kalahkan Red Esports, and honestly, kemenangan yang mudah kat belakang tu kita boleh nampak kucing. I suka kucing tu, I tak tahu siapa punya. But anyways, satu benda yang I nak tanya, hari ni Homeboys nampak sangat-sangat kuat. Adakah selepas kekalahan dengan Team GeekFam, you guys punya training jadi lagi keras ke apa? Because hari ni nampak terlampau berbeza.
Oh, terang work hard. Training 12 jam.
12 jam training bukan main-main. Tapi antara benda juga yang saya nak tanya is that Chibi pada last season dia main dengan okey, tapi season ni banyak kali dia berjaya untuk dapatkan MVP sampai top ranking dalam MVP kita, selalu ada muka dia. Apa yang Chibi lakukan sebelum masuk MPL season ni sampai season ni nampak lain daripada Chibi season lepas?
kita orang kena cuci, kena basuh.
Oh, batu.
Kita punya mental.
Oh. Boleh cerita sikit apa yang dibasuhnya tu? Siapa yang basuhnya?
Daddy Hood.
Okey, itu saya seram.
Daddy Hood tolong.
Okey. Saya ada satu soalan lah. Okey, nanti kita akan ada cross grouping punya match. Ini soalan yang saya nak tanya antara RSG dan juga Orange. Dua ni dulu. Siapakah yang paling korang nak jumpa dan kenapa?
RSG.
Sebab
kita rasa dia nak bantai.
Saja nak bantai. Tak ada alasan lain cakap.
Dekat luar tak boleh gaduh. Jadi dalam game
Tak, mungkin dia rasa kalau Iblis boleh, kita orang pun boleh kot. tak tahulah. Tapi anyways, thank you very much, Anip. A very good interview dengan you. Tapi sebelum I lepaskan you, ada tak apa-apa yang you nak cakap kepada semua fans Homeboys?
First kali terima kasih kepada Daddy Hood sebab selalu percaya kita orang. Lepas tu to my family, thank you Mama sebab selalu support saya. Okay, kepada fan Homeboys, thank you sebab selalu support kita orang walaupun kita orang ada jatuh, bangun, macam tu lah.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Anip. Dan juga thank you kepada Mama Anip sebab sentiasa support dia. So yeah, thank you Anip. I akan lepaskan you sekarang. And Syamilo, diorang nak lawan dengan RSG sebab saja nak bantai.
Dia punya level tu tinggi tau. Dia nak bantai RSG. Jadi pasukan RSG boleh take note. Dan saya nampak Anip tu memang anak syurga lah tadi.
Memang betul lah anak syurga. Memang bagus lah. Tapi lagi satu benda yang bagus adalah kita punya campaign TikTok di mana semalam hari pertama dan hari ini kita akan berlangsung dengan sampai 20 Oktober. Yes, sampai 20 Oktober 2021. So again, kepada semua orang yang tak tahu, kita sekarang ni tengah run campaign di TikTok. Support Team MPL. #SAPOT Team MPL, di mana again, MPL dan juga TikTok nak bagi ganjaran kepada semua fans Team Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Dan macam mana you guys nak join sebenarnya sangat-sangat senang. Just create a TikTok video. You guys boleh buat apa-apa. Nak joget boleh, nak tunjuk gameplay boleh, or just nak cakap kepada kamera. It's all okay. It's all up to you punya creativity. Just letak #support Team MPL, SAPOT, dan juga tag MPLMY. Kalau you guys tak letak hashtag, tak letak the MPLMY, kita susah nak cari. So make sure you guys letak kedua-duanya dan follow MPLMY dekat Facebook, Instagram dan juga TikTok supaya you guys nampak sama ada menang atau tidak. Sebab setiap minggu kita akan berikan 1,000 diamonds kepada pemenang. Dan kita punya grand prize is Secret Lab Omega 2020 Stealth Gaming Chair. So again, tunjuk support. Buat berapa banyak TikTok videos yang you guys boleh buat. And then insyaAllah you guys akan menang some diamonds for yourselves.
Ya, diamond, kerusi gaming lagi. Itu satu hadiah yang sangat menarik sebenarnya untuk didapatkan. Jangan lupa untuk join.
Ya, jangan lupa untuk join. Tetapi itu adalah perlawanan pertama kita untuk hari ini, di mana Homeboys berjaya untuk kalahkan Red Esports. Boleh dikatakan dengan sangat-sangat mudah, Team Red Esports sememangnya mereka akan judge balik apa yang berlaku, apa yang okey, apa tak okey, dan Homeboys akan kekal dengan diorang punya performance. Tapi macam mana pun, kita akan pergi kepada short break untuk prepare pada game kedua. So jangan ke mana-mana, kita akan kembali selepas ini.
2021 telah menjadi satu tahun yang hebat untuk Mobile Legends Bang Bang dan jutaan terima kasih kepada semua komuniti MLBB di seluruh dunia atas sokongan dan semangat anda. Sekarang, mari kita lihat apa yang telah kita capai setakat ini dan apa lagi yang anda boleh jangkakan tahun ini. Mari kita mulakan dengan kejuaraan dunia M2 yang berlangsung pada bulan Januari tahun ini, di mana pemain dari 8 negara merentas dunia ke Singapura. Menjalani kuarantin di samping protokol keselamatan yang ketat demi merealisasikan kejohanan offline ketika dilanda wabak.
Welcome to M2 World Championships live from Singapore.
M2 menjadi kejohanan rasmi Mobile Legends Bang Bang yang paling banyak ditonton. Lebih daripada 3 juta penonton menyaksikannya secara langsung, menjadikannya salah satu kejohanan terkenal di dunia e-sports. Piala Mobile Legends Bang Bang Asia Tenggara atau MSC 2021 yang baru berakhir.
Welcome to MSC 2021.
Mempunyai puncak 2.2 juta penonton, hampir 10 kali lebih banyak daripada MSC lalu. Selain itu, Mobile Legends Bang Bang Professional League di seluruh rantau ini memecah rekod dengan MPL Indonesia menarik penonton seramai 1.8 juta penonton. Di seberang lautan, MPL Filipina merekod lebih dari 1.4 juta penonton. Sementara MPL Malaysia dan Singapura kedua-duanya memperoleh jumlah penonton yang tinggi. Secara kolektif, MLB kini menjadi salah satu e-sports yang paling banyak ditonton di dunia dan komuniti semakin membesar. Terima kasih kepada semua peminat MLBB. Keluarga MPL semakin bertambah. Kami bakal melancarkan MPL Brazil pada bulan Jun dan MPL Kemboja pada bulan Julai. Tidak lupa juga MPL Filipina baru saja beralih ke Liga Franchise untuk musim ke-8 yang akan datang. Semua pencapaian ini hanyalah permulaan kerana bakat MLBB di seluruh dunia akan memulakan perjalanan ke puncak. Ya, tekaan anda tepat. M3 akan berlangsung pada akhir tahun 2021 di mana pasukan hebat dari wilayah MPL di samping pemenang kelayakan wilayah bukan MPL akan bertanding di satu lokasi. Ia adalah jalan panjang bergelombang menuju M3. Pasukan mana yang akan mendapat tiket untuk menjadi salah satu daripada 16 pasukan dan menamatkan perlumbaan to the top.
dengan kekalahan Red Esport, Team Bosku mereka ada peluang untuk pastikan mereka kekal tempat keempat, tetapi mereka kena kalahkan Team Todak. Selamat datang ke MPL Malaysia musim ke-8 dikuasai oleh Moonton Para with KFC, disegarkan oleh Rexona Man, Digital Telco Rasmi Yudu, raikan bersama Nescafe, rakan isukan TikTok, WeTV, Secret Lab dan juga Esport Charts. Anda bersama saya Lafel dan juga Syamilo. Syamilo, macam mana you punya pendapat tentang game tadi dan game yang akan datang?
Game tadi menunjukkan bahawa pasukan Red ada banyak benda yang mereka perlu work on untuk memperbaiki balik. Kalau mereka ingin kekalkan line up yang sama, lebih banyak penambahbaikan perlu diperhatikan untuk pasukan Red. Dan untuk pasukan Homeboys, kekalkan momentum seperti ini, saya rasa Homeboys mampu untuk mendapatkan target yang lebih besar.
Ya, and bila kita cerita pasal game tadi, kita kena cerita pasal game sekarang. Team Bosku lawan dengan Todak. Todak dah membawa draft yang agak menarik dengan bawa Hylos dan juga Akai sebagai jungler. Adakah you rasa diorang akan bawa the same tank jungler strategy ataupun diorang akan tambah lagi kejutan? Maybe macam mana Ciku dah pernah bawa sebelum ni, Rafaela Godlin.
Rafaela Godlin juga pernah dilakukan dan betul Akai, Hylos bermain sebagai jungle dan season lepas kita tahu Mia, Layla. Saya tak sabar nak tengok apa yang akan dibawakan oleh Ciku. Mungkin tiba-tiba keluar Hanabi pula ke?
Jangan sebut. I paling tak boleh dengan Hanabi sebab ada seorang orang menonton tu dia selalu pakai. Tapi macam mana pun kita dah cerita pasal Ciku, which is a good segment. Sebab kita nak segue kepada kita punya finger clicking good game, spice it up, because hari ini kita akan cerita about player profile, and player yang kita nak ceritakan kat sini adalah it's Ciku, guys. Maaf Syamilo dia tengah tutup muka Ciku, tapi korang dah hafal muka Ciku tu macam mana. Anyways, apa yang kita nak cerita dekat sini is Ciku punya I would say benefits ataupun dia punya kekuatan dekat dalam dia punya own team, where Ciku dia punya flexibility menyebabkan boleh letak dia dekat mana-mana walaupun menggunakan tank pada bahagian jungle. So let's look it up. Split pusher. Lagi bila dia menggunakan hero macam Link, kita dah banyak kali nampak, once Ciku nampak team fight tu dah tak boleh menang.
Betul.
Dia akan tukar priority dia kepada Turtle, Lord ataupun Turrets. Flex, jungler dan juga gold lane, dia boleh main multiple roles dekat dalam game ni. Macam mana kita pun dah nampak tank sebagai jungler, dan akhir sekali aggro team fighter. Dekat dalam team fight dia tak pernah malu, dia selalu ke depan.
Ya, itu tu. Saya tertarik dengan poin yang pertama tadi, split pusher. Apa yang dilakukan oleh Ciku kalau digunakan Link, kalau team fight itu tak berjalan dengan lancar, dia akan pergi ke bahagian belakang dan membersihkan minion yang akan datang. Jadi dia akan berikan sedikit masa kepada ahli pasukan dia yang lain yang telah pun terkorban untuk hidup balik dan melakukan defense. Untuk Flex juga, dia bukan saja buat tank, dia buat Ruby jungler dan menang. Saya tak tahu, kalau bagi apa pun dekat Ciku, saya rasa dia boleh bawa dengan yang baik.
Asalkan dia main jungler. Ciku ni dia macam dia tak pakai otak tau. Dia macam ambil komputer, letak dalam otak dia sendiri, sambil tengah team fight, sambil tu boleh fikir macam okay, calculating peratus kekalahan team fight 70%. So pergi push dekat tempat lain.
Betul.
Dia punya decision making is actually very very good, and I suka during the team fights, nyawa dia just CP je tinggal tapi masih selamat.
Ya, betul tu. Dan kalau kita nak tengok game semalam, dia dah bawa yang 2 tank tu, tapi kalau kita perasan, dia tak lakukan item attack langsung. Dia buat item defense. Jadi dia akan sustain dalam masa yang sama, dia pegang retreat. Jadi dia boleh control the game. So kalau siapa yang nak pergi jatuhkan Ciku, Momo free farming di bahagian side lane.
Ya, tapi macam mana pun kita nak round things up dengan kita punya segment Spice It Up dekat sini, di mana kita punya final verdict terhadap Ciku dekat sini as a team play untuk Team Todak. I would personally rate him 8 out of 10 disebabkan dia punya flexibility terlampau besar. Dia boleh main hero yang defensive, dia boleh main hero yang aggressive, dia bagus in terms of objective finding, dan juga as a team fighter, mana-mana team pun nak ada Ciku dekat dalam dia punya team. So ini kita punya player profile for Spice It Up finger clicking good game. Kalau you guys dekat rumah ada personal player yang nak kita orang review ataupun ceritakan during the finger clicking good game, make sure you guys komen banyak-banyak kat bawah, and of course tag talents dekat social media untuk dapatkan perhatian kita orang.
Ya, betul tu. Dan saya tertarik tadi, saya nak kalau boleh Ciku tiba-tiba hari ni dia bawa Uranus pula jungler, sebab kita tahu Uranus dia ada damage, dia sustain tengah sangat tinggi, dan kalau dia keluar daripada team fight, dia tunggu stack dia naik balik, heal balik, dia masuk balik dalam team fight. Jadi playstyle macam tu sesuai dengan Ciku. Saya tak tahu kalau lah hari ni lawan tim bosku,
Maybe.
dia boleh guna.
Honestly, I sendiri tak sabar. Bila kita cerita pasal Chiku, it's always an amazing draft. Tetapi jangan lupa juga untuk team bosku, Sonic sebagai jungler perform dengan sangat bagus, especially kalau dia berjaya untuk dapatkan Link. So, perebutan Link is one of the heroes yang I nak tengok. Tetapi kita kena fokus kepada game. So, apa kata? Sambil-sambil kita prepare untuk masuk ke dalam game Todak melawan dengan team bosku, kita akan refresh balik segala yang telah berlaku. Jadi apa kata kita tengok highlight video yang disediakan antara Todak lawan bosku.
Hello, Agent Khas MPL Malaysia. Ajim Motorsikat, addicted sangat dengan recall. Tas, reporting for duty. Selain daripada sains, matematik dan MLBB, Ajim sebenarnya adalah seorang pakar buah-buahan. Senang kata, fruitologist. Dan hari ini, Ajim akan cakap tentang Manilkara zapota ataupun buah ciku. Tahukah anda, ciku ini walaupun kelihatan sama, terdapat lebih daripada 60 spesies di dunia. Dan ini sangat serupa dengan ciku guys dari Todak. Badan kecil tapi pattern berjenis-jenis. Sehingga minggu keempat, Chiku Guys telah bermain 12 hero yang berbeza dalam 14 permainan. Individu hero count terbanyak di MPL Malaysia. Boleh dikatakan, hero pool Chiku Guys adalah lebih besar daripada swimming pool Olimpik kot. Tidak lama lagi, kita akan tanya hero apa yang Chiku Guys belum pakai lagi. Jadi, adakah Chiku Guys akan mengeluarkan lebih banyak hero dalam match ini? Sebab menentang bosku boleh daring sikit dan cuba benda baru kan? Itu saja laporan khas saya, Agent Khas MPL Malaysia. Sebenarnya Ajim lebih suka buah manggis. Harap nanti tiada orang akan menangis. Signing out.
The Battle of the Weird Picks is probably an appropriate title for the second match of the day between Team Bosker as well as Todak. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the MPL MY Season 8. My name's Dafa. With me once again is Gideon, who has just recently been harassed by Adine yet again about his predictions. Welcoming you back to the MPL, which is, of course, powered by Moonton. Power up with KFC, official freshness partner Rexona Men, official digital telco Udu, celebrate moments with Nescafe, partner in esports TikTok, WeTV, Secret Lab, and esports charts.
Oh boy, I mean, getting harassed about my predictions is one thing, but the way Adine does it, he really knows how to get under my skin there. But with this upcoming matchup here, the predictions are going to be a little bit more interesting. I feel like me and Adine have similar predictions throughout these next couple of games, but let's see both player stats and lineups. Starting off with Team Bosker, it's going to be Scoopboss, Aim, Sonic, Neo, and Ray.
Team Bosker certainly have been having a little bit of difficulty finding their place in the tournament thus far. So far, only having about 2 victories, if I recall correctly, both against Red Esports. However, they are certainly recognized as one of the teams that will bring up very peculiar choices in terms of their hero composition, with the most obvious perpetrator being Sonic.
Yep, I mean, Sonic, unfortunately for a lot of teams, they can't figure it out, right? It's like either you ban out like a bajillion of his pocket picks and force him into something meta, which he can actually play pretty decently. However, he's only shown the Yishin Shin as of yet. His Harley play may not be as comfortable or up to the standards that he is confident with, but I'm pretty sure Kuja is there to keep on pushing. However, there has been a little bit of a switch here. Ray is coming in instead of Fade.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be relying a little bit on Ray here. We're gonna be seeing if he's gonna be playing more of the tank position or going into the side lane similar to that of Fade. But we are going to be seeing them go up against Todak, which have, until now, probably gained themselves a status as a household name in the MPL. It's gonna be Momo, Ajik, Moon, Chiku, and Moy.
Now, once again, if you remember before that, Ajin Motosikal has definitely brought up that Ajik and Chiku guys had a really, really low win rate now. Not 0%, but at least a low win rate when they start playing together. However, things are changing up. Chiku is going to be playing the gold lane this time, Moy as their tank player, and Momo going into the EXP lane. Their wombo combos can be really, really nasty, and Momo, you can definitely see he's becoming more and more fine-tuned with the team, looking to not only just be a sandbag, but a playmaker for the team, a key component when he has the Belleric.
Yeah, there's been some very praise-worthy performance from the lesser-known members of Team Todak thus far, but what are we going to be seeing from them today? Let's see what those of us on the talent predictions have to say.
Darn it, he's sandbagging me. Now he's just matching my predictions so that he'll never lose out on it. Oh man, the pain, the agony. But yes, the three of us, me, Adin, as well as Sadafa, all voting for Todak. However, a vast majority of the cast is still believing that Team Bosker will be able to take this game away. I mean, Shamilo Fira as well as LaFell and Uncle really do think that they see the potential in Team Bosker, and it's hard to say that I don't agree with them, but with the performance that they've been having, it feels like teams are slowly becoming more fine-tuned.
Well, let's have a look at what you guys at home have to say about the matter yourselves. Look like quite a lot of you guys agreeing with us, quite a lot of Todak fans out there, but Team Bosker has a pretty good percentage of votes in their favor as well.
Yeah. This one's going to be an interesting matchup because if Team Bosker ends up winning, I want to see how much of the audience is going to change. Are they going to still be believing in Todak, or are they going to believe Bosker is going to take this 2-1, maybe 2-0 even? But knowing how Todak plays, the 2-1 seems very likely.
Well, we'll find out if the Kings of 2-1, the basically royal monarchy of 2-1s, Team Todak is going to bring a third game into the field today. But for those of you who might be feeling a little bit hungry, looking for a snack while you're watching that MPL action, make sure you guys use the promo code POWERUP, only usable on the KFC delivery app, to get yourselves a very special power-up bundle at a great discount.
Most people are going to be like, I like this variety box, but have you seen a variety box like this coming in with 2 pieces of KFC fried chicken? Whether you want it original or whether you want it spicy, they got you covered. Regular cheesy wedges, 4 pieces of chicken nuggets, Pepsi can along with it. They've got the full bundle for there, whether it's your protein or your carbs or maybe just a little bit of a snack. They got you covered, but that's not the only thing. The secret code. Now, funny enough, I went onto the Facebook KFC Malaysia and I could not figure out the secret code just yet. And you know, I was trying it out yesterday. I went over to the KFC Malaysia Facebook just to check it out, and then after that, I logged into kfc.com.my, or depending on what you're using, you can go on the KFC app if you want to. I ordered some KFC, 15 ringgit of it, and it's frustrating because I went over to the Mobile Legends tab and I couldn't, even with the hit, maybe my brain is too small, I couldn't get the secret code, so I couldn't get the 300 diamonds, but maybe you guys can.
Yep, if you guys want to give it a shot yourselves and win that 300 diamonds, make sure to follow the steps that Gideon did as well, and maybe you'll be able to figure out the hints. But that's not all. We also have some giveaways for you guys with a total pool of 60,000 diamonds to give away among 3 days. You guys definitely don't want to miss out on this. All you have to do is answer the questions you see below. The first question being, which hero uses Firaga armor?
Okay. What about the second question?
Well, the second question is, where was Colonel Sanders born?
All right. If you guys think you know the answer to this and want to participate to earn yourselves up to 60,000 diamonds in this giveaway, and it's only happening for these 3 days, so don't miss out on it. All you got to do, give your answers and make sure you slap on your IG handle so we can contact you, and use the hashtag fingerclickinggg or hashtag KFCXMLBB so that we can see your comments, because a lot of people miss out on these hashtags and they miss out on the giveaway.
You can tell that a lot of people are participating as well, because the questions are getting a little bit harder, so that only those who really put in the work will get their rewards. But if you want to get rewards for putting in a little less work, all you gotta do is click on that share button, because once we hit the share milestones you guys see at the bottom of the screen, you'll be getting some in-game rewards for yourself and basically anyone else who wants them too.
Absolutely. We got to come together as a community. We're battling COVID during a pandemic, and all we got to do is to stay safe. But you guys, all you got to do is share from the comfort and safety of your own home to all your friends that you want to reconnect. It's like, hey, you want to play some MLBB? Have you heard about the MPL though?
I think that's a very good way to reconnect with friends that you may have lost touch with. Maybe since we've all been staying at home for such a long time, you want to meet up with some of your old gaming buddies again. Well, you can do so by watching the MPL together, sharing it out, hitting those share milestones, and getting some rewards that just make your grind to Mythic a little bit easier.
Now, with the timer slapped up, you know that it's going to happen. The draft is about to begin between Team Bosker and as well as Todak. What are we expecting to see? And, you know, not even the picks, the bans.
Ooh, that's a good question. Because when we're dealing against Team Bosker, something that I think many teams would have realized after watching the match between GeekFam and Bosker yesterday is that a very easy way to just completely choke out Team Bosker's win condition is to ban all of Sonic's hero picks. That's what GeekFam did in their final game against Bosker yesterday. Obviously, Team Bosker, they're gonna be a little more wary about the possibility of that happening this time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were to secure Sonic's pick a little bit earlier to ensure that he at least gets to play the game. Against Todak, though, what do you even ban against Todak?
You know, you bring up a really good point here, because if you focus on those meta drafts, I think Todak takes full advantage of the fact, you're thinking in a linear direction. We're playing 4D chess in this draft phase, so let's see how Team Bosker is going to attempt to handle it, with the Hayabusa being the first ban for the side of Team Bosker.
That's very strange. The Saber first ban from Todak is not common at all. The hero has certainly been getting some prevalence in the MPL in the initial weeks, but recently we've barely seen the Saber being picked up by teams throughout the MPL. Not to mention, being first banned from Todak does seem to indicate that they're planning something. But what could it be?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's really safe to actually ban out Saber against specifically Team Bosker, because Scoopboss has been having some outstanding performances on a Saber. He always finds his targets. If he doesn't execute them, somebody else will. He is just there to be the stepping stone and the foundation for the rest of the team. So if you take away their footing, it's going to be some shaky ground.
Yeah, makes sense. The second ban coming out from Team Bosker going to be the Lunox, so that's a ban on Moon's hero to avoid Todak from having some more default fallback heroes for scaling. Todak going to be eliminating the Matilda from the pool as well, so it does look like they're focusing down on banning some of these early game options.
Okay, early game options, the Matilda gets banned out, the Lunox gets banned out here. It feels like Team Bosker is trying to set up for a potential Esmeralda. However, Paquito, as well as Xborg, as well as Phoveus, you know, still up in the air.
Not to mention the fact that Jawhead, Povel, and Koopa Cho all available as very solid early game options for both teams as well. So we're gonna have to see what else the teams decide to do in order to set up the game a little more comfortably for themselves. But again, I don't want to be in Team Bosker's position here, because drafting against Todak is always such a pain.
It really is. It really is such a pain. Paquito going to be the next ban for Team Bosker, one of the more dominant laners in the EXP side for now in the meta. Todak looking to respond. They have a couple of options. They could look to ban out the Esmeralda, but Phoveus would be left open. They might be able to get the Jawhead. So really the question is, do they want to pick up Jawhead for themselves, or do they even think or consider the Phoveus?
And that's a tricky question, because there's so many heroes that have actually been let through here. Lots of options open for them. I feel like Jawhead would be the obvious answer to eliminate, because even if Team Bosker were to pick the Phoveus, Esmeralda is open for Todak to pick up as a counter. It looks like they're gonna open it up a little more, and it does really seem like all early game bans from Todak here.
All right, early game bans. Early game bans. They're really pinching down onto Skupas right now with the Popo and Koopa as well as the Saber pickup here. I think this is going to be an early call for Team Bosker. They're thinking, all right, Phoveus is up, but we have the counter pick of Esmeralda. If Todak goes for Esmeralda as well as the Phoveus, that's not going to matter too much. We still have some decent counterplay with the X-Borg on one of the lanes, and then we have to figure out maybe getting Benedetta or maybe even a Barat on the other. Really depends on the flavor of the month. Ling going to be the pick for the side of Team Bosker. Oh!
Okay, I did mention that they would probably look to pick up Sonic's hero a little bit earlier to ensure that he's able to play the game, but I certainly was not expecting a first pick Ling for Bosker, so they definitely want to play very safe against Todak right now. To note though, banning out the Popol and Koopa is a hero that Ray is known for playing pretty comfortably, so I think Todak is trying to ensure that Skupos and Ray aren't going to be able to cause too much chaos. I think this is to create a little bit more space for Ajik, because with both Ajik and Chiku play, I think Todak are gonna be leaning more towards a orthodox lineup. We're not gonna be seeing too much of that jungle tank this time, so they want to make it a little easier for Ajik to get comfortable jungle farm.
Not even a Phoveus pickup here. They get the Jawhead like you mentioned, but they also get the Beatrix. I guess they are holding on and waiting for Team Bosker to reveal more of their composition before they even consider the counter pickups. Now Team Bosker, this seems pretty decent for them to actually take the Phoveus, but it's still risky because Esmeralda is on the table. I feel that an X-Borg here is good no matter what. Maybe picking up the Cho alongside it, that doesn't seem too bad.
Based on what they're drafting here, I think Todak is leaning towards playing a much more aggressive early game than usual, just to ensure that their jungle will be a little bit safer and is able to scale up. This is going to definitely be a Momo Beatrix, who has performed very well for Todak, alongside Chiku's tank jungle style. So Todak is basically keeping it up in the air against Team Bosker. Now, haha, we've picked the Beatrix. We could go for a default jungler, but the tank jungle Chiku is still a possibility.
Yeah, that is nah, I don't think it's a possibility, mainly because Ajik is playing. And we haven't seen Ajik play any other role other than the jungle. Chiku, it's a roll of the dice, man. It really is a roll of the dice.
And I want to believe he's a member of Todak now, which means that he's going to be able to confuse people once he gets some of their lessons in the future.
Chiku is discipling him and is like, okay, this is how you play tank jungle.
You never know. That could be Todak's new pioneering meta, right? The jungle tank. Maybe it's not just Chiku that's
getting a bit nervous now, huh?
Is this a jungle? Is this a jungle guy?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's giving me shivers as well. But looking at the bans, Todak is going to get rid of Ruby this time around. They want to make sure that they don't have those sandbags in the side lane that can just take a whole bunch of hits, but you can't really get enough pressure on the map to make the plays. And also with the turnaround capabilities and re-engagements from the I'm Offended from Ruby. Again, you've been hearing it day in and day out of the out of the MPL. I was about to say MVP here, but again, if you are going to be playing Ruby, you might have a chance of getting the MVP.
I think Todak is definitely playing that early game comp here, so I'm leaning quite heavily towards the jungle tank possibility because they're banning out not only the good early laners and that can cause pressure in their jungle, but they're also getting rid of the Ruby now, which means they want to make sure that their side lanes don't end up in losing positions. On the opposite side, Team Bosker right now have a pretty standard draft. The Ling, Cho, and Pharsa are going to be pretty good at scaling up and fighting once we hit the mid-game. The final bans come out. Selena being removed by Team Bosker, and Todak banning out the Benedetta as well.
Okay, they ban out the Benedetta this time around. Team Bosker, they get rid of the Selena. I think that's absolutely fine considering they've already shown far. So they probably want to get rid of another mage here. So I'm guessing Kagura. Yep, there we go. Kagura going to be the ban for Team Bosker, which now poses the issue. What else does Moon have in store? Does he want to play something like Lo Yi, something that can help peel for this Beatrix? Or unless this Beatrix has been considered to go into the side lane, I would think that Todak might actually... Oh, do they want to go for X-Borg? It's tough because Pharsa could go into the gold lane knowing aim.
Yeah, that's always a possibility for Team Bosker as well. The final bans have already come out, so Todak will be getting the first draft in the second phase. They are on the red side. I think this is going to be a very important pick, as it's going to tell us mainly what Todak is going to do. Are we indeed going to see the tank jungle, and whether or not Team Bosker are able to respond?
Esmeralda or Xborg here from the side of Todak. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, they're going. They say no. We're gonna get the Loyi instead. We want to have that Beatrix go into the side lane. We're expecting Team Bosker to either pick up Xborg or the Esmeralda for themselves. It feels like Esmeralda was the setup from Team Bosker.
This is a heavy disruption composition from Todak. They've got so much CC. The Loyi, the Jawhead, the Akai is going to be very difficult for Team Bosker to make plays, especially since they want to be able to jump into the middle of Todak with the Ling, with the Cho. But with this amount of disruption under their belt, Todak has very good ways of both engaging as well as disengaging from the side of Team Bosker. A lot is going to be riding on the damage that the Pharsa can output in this game.
What do they go for here? They've got damage. They've got scaling damage so far. But here we go, the Xborg and as well as Chang'e this time round. I'm assuming Chang'e is going into the mid lane here, right? Or is AIM gonna... Because AIM can play both Chang'e and as well as Pharsa. We'll see once the final pick from Todak is going to be set in stone. But even for them, it's like, what's the matchup going to be? Am I going up against a Pharsa? Am I going up against a Chang'e? I'm guessing it's the Pharsa because she has insanely long range. But Chang'e has a little bit of a shield, so it really depends.
I do kind of like this draft from Team Bosker. Since they know that's gonna be difficult to engage directly into Todak, they have some very good long-range siege options with the Feathered Airstrike as well as the Meteor Shower, and they will be able to use the Xborg and Cho as a bit of a buffer in between their front and back line. Todak, their final draft, going to be the Lancelot. So I assume, yeah, that is indeed going to be a Jigs hero going into the jungle, and the Akai is going to the hands of Momo.
Huh. Okay. So now I'm trying to figure out who Chiku is discipling here. Is he discipling Ajik or is he teaching Momo how to play these tanks in the side lane? It's very questionable here, but again, this comp actually doesn't look too bad. Let's summarize it here one more time. Team Bosker, they've got a great siege composition. It's all about peel. It's all about using that long-range artillery to allow Sonic to jump into that backline and clean up the mess set by their mages. But if you look from the side of Todak, they also have some strong laning presence. It's a lot of disruption. If they can get to their own back line and make sure those ultimates are ineffective with the help of Momo, Todak might be able to turn this on their heads. Let's jump into the second series of the day. Game number 1 between Todak versus Team Bosker.
Team Bosker going to be on the blue side up against Todak on the red side. Very interested to see whether or not Momo will be able to perform as well on this Akai here. Looks like it isn't going to be a typical tank Akai with the tank emblem as well as Petrify. In the meantime though, Chiku going to be playing the Beatrix in the side lane.
Sonic getting tossed out of the pit. A little interesting choice coming out from Moy. I think I would have preferred if he just threw the purple buff instead, but hey, you know, as long as you're slowing down your opponent, you're slowing down your opponent. Litho Wander going to be the contestant here from both sides, with Beatrix already having that first rotation, Sonic instantly making the decision to jump on over to the other side of the map.
And meanwhile, looks like we have a bit of a skirmish here. Moy taking a lot of damage from AIM. Gotta watch out for that early game Pharsa damage. Already gonna be forced back into the base. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to create as much impact in the enemy jungle as you would normally expect the Jawhead to be able to do. So Sonic should still be able to get his farm without too much problem.
For now, let's see how much disruption is going to start happening. I think after that first initial invade coming in from Moy's Jawhead, at this point Todak is just going to have to wait for level 4, use their pressure to kind of limit the movement from Team Bosker, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Because AIM, AIM goes back into the mid lane. Now Ray is the one going up onto that top side as the mid lane is going into a little bit of a scuffle. The yin-yang reaction coming in strong, but Sonic should be able to get first blood here easily with the Tempest of Blades. A really nice play coming in from Team Bosker. AIM and Skupas landing all of their shots.
That's going to be an important piece of tempo control for Team Bosker. Going to be able to start setting the pace of the game. Scoopo is not quite level 4, so no way with the Dragon. Moon will be able to escape from the clutches of Team Bosker with the Flicker. But yes, as you mentioned, Ray going to be playing the Chang'e in the side lane. I think they're realizing that Chiku on the Beatrix is a bit difficult for Pharsa to deal with, considering that Chang'e will have longer range. A fight going on now. Ajik does indeed secure the turtle from Team Bosker. And are they going to disengage here? The Hurricane Dance comes out, gonna ping the S4 against the wall. Scoopo is dropping very low, but unfortunately, Ajik's Torn Rose gonna miss the mark. Last Insanity, not quite enough to finish off Moy as well.
Wow, I didn't know what to look at there. I think even for Team Bosker, they were looking around as like, how do we go about this fight? Like, Momo's locking down one of our boys. We need to somehow get into that back line, but there's no priority targets at all. But First Blood bounty, courtesy of Team Bosker, given to you guys in the audience and the comment section down below. Now, don't forget that KFC is also going to be giving away 300 diamonds. You just got to follow the steps. So hop onto the KFC Malaysia page on Facebook and follow the steps there.
Alright, as the game continues now, we can see that the farm for both Ajik and Sonic going to be looking pretty even thus far. Todak slightly ahead in terms of net worth, but not enough to really be much of a problem. It's fluctuating quite a bit right now. Todak gonna be playing around Ajik. They want to be able to secure farm for the Lancelot because he's gonna be the target that they play around once the mid game arrives. They have to be a little bit wary of Team Bosker, though. Scoopo is looking very juicy right now, so he wants to get a pick off.
Look at the patience coming in from Moon. How long has he been sitting in that bush? He's level 4 right now. Ray's level 6, which is fine because he's in the side lane, but Aim, he's just farming the mid lane now. He's already at level 5. He's got a level lead for almost no reason as the unstoppable force gets on top of him. The flicker into the wings by Wings. Can he get out? Oh no, he cannot. He runs into the rest of the members. Chiku, guys, is caught out for it now. Sonic can't seem to find the target that he wants. He finally gets the kill. Scoopos manages to get on out, but it's a 4v1 situation as the Hurricane Dance pins him against the wall.
Sonic might have invested a little bit too much to secure the kill onto Chiku. Will get the Beatrix, but ends up caught in the Hurricane Dance himself. And now Ajik wants to take that chance, will be able to steal the purple buff away, but Ray dropping Moy down real low, uses the flicker to keep up on him, but no abilities available. Moon pulls him back with the yin-yang reaction. Ajik ready to follow up, but Ray still looking pretty healthy right now. Scoopos coming in from the side, Rise to go on Moon, but a nice flicker timing from the Loi will keep him out of the clutches of the Jeet Kune Do. Scoopo is now the one in trouble. Phantom Execution jumping on top of him as Chiku follows up, gets the kill with the Nibiru's passion.
A little greedy there, but Sonic, he really needs this purple buff right now, but the rest of the team, the rest of Todak is going to start making their way, but they don't care about the purple buff no more. They want to get on top of Aim. Aim goes down straight away to the unstoppable force coming in from Moy.
Momo making some very good rotations right now, getting some huge pin downs with the Hurricane Dance. So that does also mean that he's going to be a little bit behind in terms of EXP. Not doing too badly though. Still the same level as Neo, who he manages to jump on top of with 1000 Pounder, forcing the Firaga armor away and zoning out Bosker from the turtle.
Well, this is a pretty even matchup for now from both Team Bosker as well as Todak. Todak obviously slightly ahead, but their composition is more designed around the earlier stages of the game. Team Bosker, they're playing around their ultimates here. And unfortunately, Todak, they're so disruptive. They're making sure they're splitting up these fights. Sonic actually coming in just in time with a Retribution to get the River Crab. But looking at the items so far, it's still pretty even. Everybody's just picking up their first components. And top side, looks like it's going to be a complete dive. Moy coming in hard with the unstoppable force. He's limited by himself as Sonic goes into the backline to try and pick up Chiku. Sonic all by himself. Scoopos gets the way of the dragon onto the Beatrix, securing that kill. They managed to find 2. Can they get a 3rd? Yes, they do. Team Bosker looking up big.
Ooh, some miscommunication from Todak there, but very good splitting of the fight by Team Bosker. Moy unfortunately overextended a bit too far to get the pick off, and once he got the throw with the ejector, he realized that his team was not behind him. In fact, being split up by Scoopos, and manages to secure the kill onto 3 members of Todak.
Now Neo and Aim, they both see Momo and Ajik here. They see Sonic, who's nearby, trying to steal the purple buff once again. He can't seem to get his hands on it, and it's starting to frustrate him. You can see he is 8 to level 10. Ajik's level 10, 2-level disparity. But now they've managed to find the lock onto Scoopos for, oh, it's so quick. It's so quick. The Phantom Execution takes him out before he even has the time to Shunpo or Flicker.
That's gonna let Todak feel a little little bit safe for quite a while, considering that Scoopos is the main threat in terms of finding pickoffs for Team Bosker. So the Todak gonna be seeing if they can use this to get some pressure onto mid lane. Moi going in, he has his eyes set on aim but gets stunned. Sonic already dropping down onto the floor. Tower dropping very quickly to Chiku. He will willingly take a bit of damage to his HP. Nibiru's passion going to be used as well to see if he can get the kill onto Neo, but he will be able to flicker away without expending his immortality.
All right. He's losing out big, especially with no flicker. He doesn't have an escape mechanic anymore, and they have lost full control over the bottom side of the map. They need to make sure Sonic is going to be keeping up with farm against Ajik, so he needs that purple buff more than anything. If he starts vertically jungling now, it's going to be fine. And Sonic, he makes a good decision, instantly going up to the top side jungle.
Alright, Radiant Armor purchased on Moi as well. A kick onto Momo, but instantly the Hurricane Dance against Scoopos. Unfortunately, Todak not quite in position to respawn. Moon comes in with the diversion, but lands with the Jeet Kune Do right on top of him, saving Scoopos' life. Very nice timing from Scoopos right there. Manages to escape from a very sticky situation.
I mean, regardless of whether it was just sheer luck or pure skill, that was a very, very unfortunate situation for Moon. Because if he didn't get hit by that Jeet Kune Do, I'm pretty sure the Yin Yang reaction would have locked Scoopos in place, allowing Todak to pick up another kill.
Well, they say that to the winners, the spoils, and Team Bosker is going to be able to walk out with Scoopos' life intact from that last engagement. However, aggression from both these teams has certainly not ceased. Looking at the items thus far, we can see that Chiku actually electing to go for a bit of a safer build, starting with the Rose Gold Meteor rather than the Blade of Despair, who he only just picked up at this point. Unfortunately, didn't save him from being killed twice. However, looks like Momo managed to get the pin on the Hurricane Dance, resulting in a kill onto Ray. A nice ejector by Moi will be throwing Scoopos back into the rest of the team. Momo actually manages to walk away. I think Aim's abilities were on cooldown, so not quite able to pick up the kill himself.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. It should have been a 1-for-1 trade, Momo for Ray, but now Todak is going to continue to press their advantage with the majority of their members still healthy here, while the split push coming in from Ajik on that bottom side is going to force them for a decision here. Bennett's Rage already coming back out. Blade Tempest already done. Ooh. And there we go. Unfortunately for Scoopos, he has to give his life for the importance of his jungler's farm.
And yep, Scoopos is going to once again eat dirt at the hands of Todak, who are roaming around as 4 members right now, leaving Ajik to actually handle the bottom lane by himself. He will certainly have no problem with that, as he has a lot of iframes. The Lancelot pickup will attribute to that. The control over the jungle that Todak has will allow them to lead into a very easy Lord pickup.
Yep, this Lord again going to be uncontested here for the side of Team Bosker, who know that they are behind, but they only understand that they are 2k behind. If they have to give up resources, that's totally okay with them. They know they scale even harder. But, you know, speaking of safe builds, like you mentioned before, Neo himself is opting to go for the immortality straight away into the Ice Queen's wand. He's not even bothering to go for anything like the War Axe, or not even going for the Bloodlust Axe for the sustainability.
Oh, interesting. That means that Neo is playing a bit more of a teamfight setup playstyle rather than dueling the enemies 1v1, which certainly works out well for Team Bosker, because a lot of their damage is going to come from the siege of their jungler as well as the 2 mages in the back line. Lord gonna be pushing down the bottom lane now for Todak. Team Bosker needs to be poised to defend against this, but Todak very wisely pushing all 3 lanes at once.
Yep, they're synchronizing the waves, and unfortunately for Team Bosker, they're just sacrificing the outer turrets just to buy a little bit of time. They don't know where Todak is going to be, so they don't want to risk any of their members walking out and overextending. They defend the tier 2 on mid side, and they will be able to clear out Lord down on bottom.
It does look like Team Bosker made a conscious decision to defend the mid lane using the feathered airstrike. Unfortunately, not for long. Scoopos gets thrown backwards with the ejector. Unstoppable Force not gonna keep it in place. Unfortunately, it looks like Moi wasn't able to follow up. Hurricane Dance manages to zone out the rest of Team Bosker, as Bennett's Rage doing a lot of damage into the backline. Secures the kill onto Scoopos as well. Ajik once more, but realizes that Sonic has quite a bit of damage, going to back out wisely there and continue to push, as they know that they currently outnumber the enemy. Interesting diversion from Moi. What are you doing? That's not the throw you're looking for. That is not the target you want to throw. But will be able to get the tower with that diversion. Literally really living up to the ability's name.
I mean, like you said, to the winners, the spoils here. Once again, Ajik getting on top of Sonic, taking him out straight away. That is a huge win for Todak there. They not only deny aim from using a feathered airstrike, they pick up Sonic as a consolation prize along with him.
Ooh, a nice play by Todak there, and the damage ramp up from them is starting to show. Sure, Ajik doesn't scale that well into the late game, but this is definitely his peak. And not to mention, Chiku and the Beatrix is starting to hurt quite a lot. The AoE damage from his ultimate's proving to be very detrimental to Team Bosker's teamfight, considering that they do want to stand together.
Yeah, they want to be really close by. The only thing that's really frustrating is that was a great engagement from Scoopos. There just needed to be a follow-up, and now Scoopos once again getting locked against the wall to the Hurricane Dance, but Momo, he's just eating every single shot here. All the ultimates are coming out, the diversion in the background to distract them as Moy gets on top of aim with the help of Moon. Yin-Yang reaction, Ajik is allowed to take out the front line and slowly whittle his way down. Scoopos and aim bite the dust this time around. Oh my goodness, another one.
Meteor Shower going to be used by Ray to clear up the wave. They know that the crystal is being threatened, but we are seeing a master class in splitting up the team fight from Todak right now, moving in pairs of units in order to split up the fight and ensure Team Bosker cannot take them casually. Very nice diversions from Moon with Moy to be able to secure kills in the backline. And a good escape from Momo earlier as well, actually forcing Neo to use the last Insanity to secure the kill, meaning he wouldn't have it available for the team fight.
I'm not gonna lie, initially when we were seeing the divergence coming in from Moon, it's a very unique way of using it, right? You're not trying to catch the flank off of your opponent. It's about the pressure. It's about the risk of how many members are going to be in that divergent once it pops. It's a very fresh take on this ultimate.
Indeed, and that's gonna be a transition to our 5x freshness with every GG. Make sure you guys scan the QR code below to get yourself some Rexona Man products. But back to the game, as you mentioned, indeed, the diversions have been making a lot happen. While they're not necessarily using them to catch enemies off at flanks, the zoning potential that it leads to is very valuable for Todak because they don't know for sure how many members are going to appear within that ultimate.
Yeah, but now once again, they're going to be sitting on the Lord. They're doing it super fast here. Already down to 25% of his HP. They cannot force the situation. Neo is trying his best, but now he might be in a little bit of trouble. Pulls it in, walks back into the rotation. Divergent coming in huge, straight away to the purple side, denying Sonic again from his purple buff.
This is a very good use of the Loi ultimate right now, and I'm always happy to see teams effectively make use of this very strong utility skill. Just being able to move around the map this quickly is allowing Todak to completely choke out Team Bosker from all of their resources. And now that Sonic doesn't have his purple buff for a very important Luminous Lord push, we could be seeing the end of Game 1 for Team Bosker.
Let's see how this is gonna go. Ajik just purchased his Wind Talker. That's gonna be the full build here as Ray starts things off with the Meteor Shower. The backline already getting attacked there. Great.
Oh, there's three of them.
Oh my goodness, great divergent coming in from Todak. Master Tactician for a reason. Neo the next to fall. Down with a Phantom Execution into the Thorn Rose. Blade of Tempest comes on out, but it's too late. Ajik just getting the auto attacks off of the crystal. Second Meteor Shower ain't gonna do nothing. Todak come in with a clinical display of strategy over Braun.
That was some of the best macro play I've ever seen. The decisions to just jump into the backline with a diversion and the coordination required by Team Todak to be able to carry it out secured perhaps one of the most interesting victories we've seen in MPL thus far, and demonstrating that Todak has no end to the number of tools that they have in that pocket of theirs.
This is just the great evolution of how you should be considering the tool of using Lo Yi's ultimate, the diversion, because most people, if you're very selfish like me and use it in lane, I just use it to get to the lane as fast as possible. You know, I don't need the rest of my team. But in professional play, we saw from Season 7, Suhas having the most proficient Lo Yi's ultimate, jumping from one side of the map to the other to continue applying pressure, but a great use in team fights itself. Hopefully we get to see it here in the highlights by Yudu once more, because again, I want to take notes.
it's actually such a good idea because Team Bosker, their lineup, we already know they want to take layered team fights. Have Neo and Scoopos in the front, Ray and Aim at the back, Sonic dancing around. Well, if we want to get rid of Ray and Aim, why not just TP right behind them? And Team Bosker just don't have any tools to be able to prevent Todak from jumping into their backline when they could literally just teleport in with multiple members and find themselves in the perfect situation to perform a flank.
Yeah, they don't have strong AoE CC. If they had a Kufra, it would be a little scarier. That means the Divergent would have to be in a position where it's not in the middle of a wall. But then again, you know, Kufra would be able to body block a lot of the dispersions from Lo Yi, so it's not ideal to be doing moves like that. But against this particular draft where Ray and Aim are going to be standing really far back in these team fights, it's actually great. Look at this. They catch Aim off. He had no time to react.
Indeed, I really like the way that Todak split up their team composition into sort of dedicated two-man units, because you know that they have two tanks. They have Moy on the Jawhead as well as Momo on the Akai, so making good use of that. They also had two carries with Ajik and Chiku doing quite a lot of DPS output. Match that on with Moon, who can transport one of these units anytime. And Todak has a very solid split fighting. I'm getting tongue-tied now. Split fighting composition, because as long as you have two of these heroes together, they can take fights from any angle.
You know, I totally agree with you. Like, I know you want to say split push because it feels a lot more natural, but this is just a great new take on the Lo Yi ultimate, and split fighting might be the new key term that we have to keep an eye out for Todak next time. But well done. Well done. From the draft to the plays, Todak has shown that they are getting to that champion level polish that we're all waiting for.
I was a little concerned with whether or not Momo could pull off his role as a tank here, but I suppose I should not have doubted the man, considering that he makes other teams even fear Bellaric of all picks. So Todak, once again, demonstrating how fearsome they are as a team. Looking at the post-game stats, I think it's very convincing that this victory was in their favor. But what is going to be the MVP? Who is it gonna be? Powered up by KFC, I think. None other than the master strategist Moon himself on the Lo Yi.
Oh my goodness, like, he deserves this one. He really does. I mean, Momo played a strong game itself, and I would argue he is in second place for that MVP. Ajik had some great mechanics all across the board. Fast rotations, really no wasted movement here. And with Moon by his side, another just layer, a new dynamic, a new angle that you have to look at that most people don't even consider. Well done.
I think this is an ideal Todak lineup right now, because we already know that Chiku can play many different roles. He's basically the multi-tool of not just Todak, but the MPL as a whole. But obviously his skills lie most heavily in when he is given the ability to carry. So when you have two carries in the form of Chiku as well as Ajik, a very solid way that Todak took advantage of that was with a bulky front line, but not taking fights in a layered style similar to that of Bosker, but actually moving them around in separated units that would function just as effectively on their own.
Yeah, oh boy, I cannot wait to see how game 2 is going to start looking like, because again, with Todak coming up with these new ways to play, I want to see more. Because before this, okay, I'm not gonna lie, after yesterday, a little bit troll with the tank pickups, you know? There definitely was an idea there, but it didn't seem as clean or as polished. It felt very a diamond in the rough, as some may call it. But this one looks a lot better. It's like you've looked at the diamond in the rough, you flipped it over, and you see the perfect, just flat surface of it, seeing it sparkle. It has that polish. It's almost there, but they got to be careful. Only during certain conditions can this mechanic work.
It indeed can, but I think this is a good way of demonstrating that Todak are really starting to adapt and grow, because before this, we've always known Todak to be a team that wants to try out all sorts of different things. They always experiment with different heroes and drafts. A lot of the time, you can see the game plan there, but there's still a little bit of that feeling that they're picking that hero just for the sake of flexing that hero, not really making it part of a conducive lineup. But now, we're starting to see changes in the way that Todak wants to play their game. Sure, the jungle tank was a little bit troll, But you could still kind of see where the idea was coming from, because they don't want to allow themselves to become victims of early game aggression, so just put a bulky hero in the jungle. Here, they know that they want to take these split up fights, draft for that composition. I think it's a really refreshing take on how to approach the draft. And when we say refreshing, you guys already know that we're gonna be leading into our official freshness partner, Rexona Men.
You can't spill all the secrets here, but guys, if you haven't heard about them yet, Rexona Men is coming up with some 2 new products. It's going to be the Lime Cool as well as the Charcoal Detox, depending on what kind of a man you are, whether you prefer a little bit more citrusy smells, or if you are a stinky little boy, don't worry. The Charcoal Detox really gets in there and makes sure that you are fresh, clean 24/7.
You know, I think I wouldn't be surprised if after this people specifically asked on your stream for you to call them a stinky little boy. But for those of you who do want to drop by Gideon streams, you guys might need some data, and what better to get it than from our official digital telco, Udo, powered by Cellcom. If you guys scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen and swap over to Udo, you guys can receive 100 free diamonds.
Yes, 100 free diamonds if you switch over to Udo, especially if you are a new user or you got a brand new phone and you're thinking, you know what, I need some Mobile Legend data. I want to play a lot of games on my brand new shiny phone. How about get 100 free diamonds on top of all of that? And if that doesn't sweeten the deal for you, 20 GB worth of data for 3 ringgit. That's all you need.
Yep, but maybe that's not all you need, because in order to stay up for those long nights of grinding to Mythic, you guys are gonna want to get some Nescafe for yourself. And we got a special deal for you guys. Make sure to scan this QR code as well to get yourselves a voucher for 30% off with no minimum spend on any Nescafe products you'd like.
Any Nescafe, whether it be the original, the mocha, the latte, the te tarik, they got it all. So scan the QR code and it'll send you directly to the store to make those purchases. Now, let's see how the stonks are going to be looking like here. But after that Todak win, though, oh wait, hold on. Okay, it's not as much, not as devastating as we had before. It's still Team Boss Square fans, still loyal to their team, holding strong, holding that line.
I'm always very envious of you Team Boss Crew fans, because you guys have a dedication to support your favorite team, irregardless of what happens. Team Boss Crew, they've always had some shaky performances in the past, but it's thanks to you guys who are willing to support them despite all the odds, that are able to push them forward and allow them to look at a potential even up in Game 2 with Toda.
Yeah, absolutely. But they just need to ignite the match and throw it into the gasoline to ignite Team Boss Square, and this might be it. We've just got news that Ray is going to be swapping out for Fade this time for Team Boss Square. They needed something new. Unfortunately for Team Boss Square there, Ray was not able to help the lineup this time around. It looks like Fade is going to have to step up and help them out, especially when it comes to the draft, just because at least then it opens up their pool a little bit more and gives them dedicated roles.
Indeed, Fade on the side lane has always been a pretty solid laner. He's not exactly the flashiest player, but he gets things done. And I think that's what Team Boss Square is going to need when they're dealing with this very unpredictable variable that is Toda.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But let's look at the draft recap here before we get into the Game 2 draft, just so we can figure out some kind of idea or plan. Like, how do you get ready for a lineup like this? Todak came up with a really smart lineup overall. However, Team Boss Square, you can see Kuja has a very, very vivid imagination, and he's coming up with these really interesting, pushing it to the extreme when it comes down to siege compositions.
Yep, unfortunately the siege composition didn't work out this time. Team Boss Square are going to need to make a plan as to how they want to approach the next game. Do they want to once again fall back to the weirder but reliable pocket picks of Sonic, or do they have something else up their sleeve? It had better be something good, because Todak, they're demonstrating some growth as a team right now and proving that they are able to adapt and plan around the strategies of their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really, really well. And let's see how far they can actually go with this. We did notice that Chiku, unfortunately, getting caught out a couple of times. He doesn't mind it as long as the team gets ahead. Moon ever as reliable, and Momo actually becoming quite a pillar for the team in terms of that reliability. When things go wrong, they know that Momo will hold his own.
Indeed, before this, Todak always kind of felt like a random arrangement of gears and cogs, but now they're starting to fit together well, and you can see the machinery rolling real nicely, real smoothly. It's well oiled, and I'm curious to see if Todak can continue bringing this to the field. The draft is about to begin, and we can see that the first bans have come out once again, gonna be identical to the first game. Todak seems like they don't like this Saber pick.
Yeah, Todak get rid of the Saber, they get rid of the Popo and Koopa. Again, still targeted bans against Team Boskor. They have done their research and will continue to punish them unless Team Boskor comes up with a plan. Hayabusa going to be the same ban as they did in game number 1, and it's going to be Paquito as well.
Something to note is that Todak as a team is one of the most obvious teams in their preference for the dual tank lineup. Even if the tank goes into the jungle, you will typically see that Todak likes to play with 2 tanks, even though nowadays the meta doesn't lean that heavily towards having that bulkiness for the form of tank heroes anymore. So maybe Team Boskor wants to keep an eye on that a little bit, draft up heroes that would be able to cause trouble to that, such as the X-Borg, the Esmeralda, even the carry, if they really want to bring it out. I feel like it's one of those heroes that Sonic could play if he wanted to, but certainly not quite in the meta anymore.
I mean, carry is really tough. The problem with carry is that she takes so long and her range is so short, but her passive is just so good against tanks. And that's the frustrating part, because in the meta right now, with so many targets to hit, you're not going to have enough time. The burst damage is still pretty important, and that's why you see a lot of assassins come into play. Now Benedetta gets banned out, but on the side of Team Boskor, they also ban out the X-Borg.
Alright, interesting choice from Team Boskor there. I feel like they could have definitely saved that hero for themselves, as it's a pretty good counter to what Moy and Momo like to play. But electing not to, Todak going to be able to grab the Matilda, which is definitely a Moy signature.
Okay. The Moy signature coming on in. Let's see how they're going to play around this. Team Boskor, they see the first pick Esmeralda. They see the first pick Matilda. Are they going to get the jaw hit, though? Is it even a consideration? Because Popo and Koopa is already gone.
The jaw hit is an option. The Cho would not be too bad as well. As you mentioned, the Popo and Koopa is already gone. That would have been ideal for Team Boskor, but considering that has already been removed from the pool, they should probably consider either the jaw hit or perhaps a Ruby just to be a little bit safer. But instead, going to straight away pick up the Sonic Pocket pick, blocking in the Sun as well as the Lunox.
It's crazy to imagine that both Sun and Lunox have the same win rate as of right now, when, you know, Lunox has been around for a while. Sun has been around in MLBB specifically for a very long time, except in pro play. Now the counter matchup coming in, Beatrix as well as the Belleric here, 50% win rate coming in from Belleric, literally all thanks to Momo, like single-handedly even.
Yep, this is a signature hero from Momo as well, the Belleric, and a very good counter to the Sun coming out from Team Boskor, as all that damage can be very easily reflected right back at him. But Team Boskor going to respond in kind instead, picking up the Angela. So looks like they're gonna be looking to buff up Sun as much as possible. Even if you reflect my damage, as long as I have the shield and the healing, it's not going to matter.
Yep, they're just gonna supercharge their one carry. Whether it's going on the Sun, whether it goes on the Lunox, doesn't really matter too much. Now we're going into the second ban phase here. It's Team Boskor who has priority. They're looking over at Todak's side and they're like, ah man, this is kind of annoying to deal with. It could be the fact that they could switch things up, but I'm guessing that Chiku is going to get the Beatrix once again. There is no Saber, no single target lockdown that we were hoping for. We might see a Kagura, but Ling gets banned out.
Alright, Ling going to be eliminated. Team Boskor recognizing the potential for the dual core, considering that is exactly what Todak played in game 1. Not going to allow them to get the Beatrix as well as the Ling. Wouldn't be surprised if they were to decide to eliminate the Lancelot as well, but that certainly is not going to completely choke out a Jeek's hero pool, considering that he also does have the Roger to fall back on if that's the case.
That is true, there is the Roger. I think Team Boskor needs to ban out Roger. Hayabusa is already gone, so... But then Ajik did a pretty good job on the Lancelot too, so it really is the flavor of the month. I think, okay. Team Boscor, if they get rid of the Lancelot, it's understandable. I would rather that over... Oh, they instead get rid of Granger.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Todak instead going to be banning out the scaling side laners, which are Alice and Esmeralda. The very first pick coming out very quickly. Team Boscor want to deny the Roger away from Todak, and that's interesting, which means that we could actually be seeing Sonic playing on the Roger instead with the Sun in the side lane.
Okay. That's an option. That's kind of strange, though, but all right. I see what Team Boscor is doing is they're pivoting from their original idea. Now, Todak, on the other side, they have to make a decision whether or not to let go of this Phoveus. If they pick up the Phoveus, then their side lanes aren't going to have as much pressure as they would like them to. However, denying it from Team Boscor might be a good idea, especially since Beatrix has a dash. We also have Matilda, who can suck people, who can allow people to jump towards her, which can trigger the demonic force.
Not a big fan of the Phoveus pickup myself. I think something like a Khalid would actually be quite a bit better for Todak to deal with Team Boscor considering his early game AoE, but Todak gonna be leaning away from that, instead grabbing the Cho as well as the Cecilia.
Phoveus. Come on. You know you want it, Team Boscor.
There's still 30 seconds. Let Team Boscor plan out a little bit, but the Phoveus would certainly work out pretty well for them since the other scaling side laners already removed from the pool from Todak. So Phoveus would have a pretty free reign here, especially now that Cho has been shown as well. That's going to be things that he can use the demonic force with, but we'll see whether or not Team Boscor does indeed decide on going for that. We could see the Lunox in the side lane instead, but nope, looks like you are indeed correct. Team Boscor going to lock in their final pick, which is the Phoveus.
My only other option for Team Boscor, if they didn't want to go for the Phoveus, was going to be the Balmond, but even then, both side lane matchups aren't that fun. Into the Beleric, you're just gonna, proc his passive multiple times against the Cho. Cho basically does not care. The moment you stop with your Cyclone Sweep, he's just gonna come in, clear the way with the Jeet Kune Do, and bail on out of there.
That certainly makes sense to me, but now that the draft has completed, let's have a look at what both teams have in store. Team Todak going to have pretty good team fighting built in just with the Beleric, and the Matilda and Cho going to be quite annoying early game, while good scaling is inbuilt with the Cecilion as well as Beatrix. On the opposite side, it does look like Team Boscor going for a bit of a supercharged composition with this Angela and quite a few good options for the Heart Guard to target as well. However, they will need a little bit of time before that damage starts ramping up, so that could give a window to Todak. We'll find out. Will Todak close out this game in a 2-0 victory, or will Team Boscor be able to bring it back against their aggressors?
Well, let's find out here in game number 2. Todak on the blue side, Team Boscor on the red. Now, and this is a little unlucky here because Sun is going up against Beleric in the EXP lane. They foresaw this happening. They didn't want to pair him up. They go for the lane swap, but Todak, they read into it. So now Phoveus has to deal with the Beatrix still. Both not very good matchups.
Yep, this is very ideal in terms of side lane matchups for Todak. Scoop pose, be careful. Soul Bloom is very painful, but Sonic suddenly comes in, gets the first blood onto Moy, who unfortunately didn't suspect the rotation coming in from the enemy jungler.
Did Moy's taunt not connect with Scoop pause there? I thought it did. I really thought it did. It might have not. It might have just slipped aside, but Neo getting a really good trade against Ajik is already good enough. But however, I don't think he has the execute. Oh, he already used the flame shot, so that's a little unlucky because Ajik still has the flicker. Neo is just absorbing as much EXP from the wave as possible. Moy is just waiting it out. Nicely done coming in from Neo.
Yep. What I'm very interested to see with this game is the fact that Chiku, once again going into the jungle with a very strange choice, the Jungle Cho. We'll find out whether or not it works, but that was indeed the first blood bounty, and you guys are going to be able to use the code below to redeem yourself some rewards, as well as make sure to participate in KFC's secret code campaign.
But now instantly you can see that Scoopos is going to get first picked up so quick by the powers of Todak. With the way of the dragon looking so good, Neo not reaching his level 4, a little unlucky there because they would have liked him to pick up those extra kills with the help of the demonic force. Good play coming in from Todak's side, abusing the side lane's lack of an ultimate.
What something to note in this game is that both teams will have a lot of damage potential overall, but Team Bosker will need a little bit more time compared to Todak to be able to start scaling it up. Momo gets a nice 3-man ultimate, managing to capture 3 members of Bosker in the Wrath of the Dryad. Ends up losing his life, but gets a very favorable 1-for-2 trade.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a bait that was. Like, Momo could have instantly... Wait, hold on, Neo. He might be in some trouble here. He's already using the Demonic Force to buy as much time as possible. And as long as Chiku keeps on dashing, he's going to keep on jumping. Once again, the Asteros Eye does connect on one, but he will need to wait for somebody else to dash again to punish with the Demonic Force. But back to what I was saying just now, right? So far, when it comes down to that, when it comes down to these baits, Momo, he could have committed to the recall, but my guess is that the shot caller from Todak's side was saying, hey, if you can bait all 3 into the Wrath of the Dryads, it's pretty much GG.
Indeed, Chiku now gonna be working on the turtle. A little bit slow considering he is playing the Cho. Neo gonna be starting to harass him. Sonic already has the Heart Guard on top of him. Gonna absorb a lot of the Way of the Dragon damage, but right into the Wrath of the Dryad. Well secured to kill onto Sonic. Scoop pose pops out very awkwardly. Aim doing quite a lot of damage on the Lunox as well, but they will be able to grab Neo with the Sanguine Claws, keeping him in place. And Aim gonna be the next target. The Flicker gonna get him over the wall. Unfortunately, they do lose Moy, but completely zone Team Bosker off the turtle.
I like this. I really, really do like this from the side of Todak. But here comes Ajik. He's just blow. Excuse me? Hello? Hello? Is he actually gonna... Ajik just solo kills him. He just walks up and solo kills him. How many...
Wow, I knew Wesker did a lot of damage, but that was way more than I was expecting. Half of phase HP with one shot? What?
Does he did he rush BOD or something? Like, let's check the item list right now. Just to figure this out. He doesn't even... He just got the BOD. What happened there?
I have no idea how Fade dropped so quickly there, but Ajik managing to secure the kill against the Sun. Look at this damage. It's so painful playing a melee character against Beatrix in lane.
It really is a pain. He's got to be using the doppelgangers as a way to kind of harass Ajik. Because Ajik, he went for the killing spree. He didn't go for the weakness finder or for the traditional marksman emblems because he knows he's going to get kills later into the game. Fade now with the help of the Heart Guard quickly pops down his doppelgangers, but again, Nibiru's passion is going to cut him off. Sonic here to help, turning it around with the Lycan Pounce, gets hit by the Sanguine Claw, but they've already got what they wanted. Todak, they take the tier 1, they back away and look to control the game again.
Good discipline from Todak, not extending too far in a desperate attempt to get kills, but instead being satisfied with being able to take the tower and then retreating without any losses to themselves. They are currently double the kill count of Team Bosker 5 minutes into the game and already 3k net worth ahead, which is definitely what they want to happen considering the number of scaling cores that they have on their side.
And now the invades are going to occur. Chiku already trying to shove out Sonic. He's got the 2-level lead on him as well. This is really hard to watch here, but mid lane now going to get shoved out once more. Todak coming as a death ball composition, making sure that they stick generally close by so that if Momo finds an initial pick, the whole team is going to go rolling on through just like a wrecking ball. He's going to do it again. Wesker already finds one, but again, instantly, Fade gets the help of his Angela. The Heart Guard is looking good, but can he finish off this kill? 1 HP, yes he does. Scoopos finds it, but they will be giving another kill over to Todak's side. Wait, Scoopos, he can actually get out. Yes, he does. He survives the Soul Bloom again. Nice play from Team Bosker, but they want to take the turtle. Oh, that turtle stolen once more in the hands of Team Bosker. Chiku could not get it in time. Demonic Force too strong as they run them down one by one. They were able to find... No, they're not even going to get one this time. Neo just gets run down and gets shot. Chiku played that well.
Very impressive demonstration of mechanics from Chiku there. Cho is usually a hero that would be heavily countered by the Demonic Force coming out from Neo, but timing it perfectly, knowing when he can take the Phobius ultimate and when to avoid using those movement abilities to ensure that he's put low but not taken out of the fight.
That was nicely done. I mean, so far Team Busker definitely stealing a kill, getting that initial kill onto Ajik. Very, very big win. Trading 1-for-1, that's not too bad, especially for Fate considering he was losing the lane anyways. Scoopboss manages to survive. They steal the turtle on top of everything else, but if they got one more kill off of Todak on that turtle fight, that would have been ideal. But you can see based off of the items, Todak still is very close to reaching their second item, Power Spike.
Indeed, Wind of Nature out on Ajik as well, so he's going to be able to take much more aggressive fights now as well. Chiku finds the Roger in the bush, gets away of the Dragon. Heart Guard already on top of Sonic. Should be able to keep him alive for now. Lycan Pounds just to avoid the damage coming in from the Soaring Eagle as well.
And Momo, he's going with the Wrath of the Dryads. He's going to lock down Fate, but you can see how much this is an annoying matchup. But with the help of the Demon Hunter Sword, it's not going to matter when Moon comes in to save the day. Ajik, he's going to get hit initially. Power. Ooh, okay, is he going to die? No, tactical roll comes through. There we go. Demonic Force. Third time's the charm. Fourth time to get on top of Chiku. Guys, Neo is scaling very, very nicely.
Unfortunate for Ajik that he thought he could force down the tower with both Chiku as well as Moi, but Neo very wisely deciding to target down the Beatrix, which is going to do the most damage to his tower, and manages to secure the kill with the Demonic Force. Momo, however, proving to be a very effective counter to Fade. The damage reflex just proving to be too much. A nice the taunt gonna be keeping Neo in place. He can't use his ultimate, probably on cooldown anyway, and they will lose both Neo as well as Sonic with the Retribution down on Team Busker. Chiku will be able to take this turtle without needing to expend his own.
Oh boy, a little unlucky there, a little unlucky, but Team Busker aren't completely out just yet. It's just the turtle, 7 kill lead, but 4K ahead. Momo needs to stand on the forefront. He can't just stand in the side. He cannot deal with the sun by himself, especially with the Demon Hunter Sword and Corrosive Scythe already completed.
But he can make it a pretty even fight. The damage reflect proving to be hurting Fade quite a lot. Todak already managing to push their map control quite heavily in their favor. Only one outer turret remaining for Team Busker on the top side, and Chiku is looking to be taking that down very soon.
Getting close here, but Moi, he's going to absorb and proxy the wave for now to allow the rest of the team to get on top of this tier 2. Team Busker too scared to walk up. They know that this is a trap. They have to just sacrifice the turret. But now they get the kick on top of Neo, who gets hit by literally every ability in the game. Not even the Hearth Guard would be enough. The chain CC perfectly layered from Todak, from the Wrath of the Dryads, straight into the Circling Eagle, right into the Sanguine Claw. Fade now on the run, trying to steal anything he can. He's trying to juke them, but Moi won't let him go.
Oh, unfortunate. Fade's long trip back home going to end right outside the walls of his own base, and Todak take full control over the map. A beautiful pick off by Chiku. They're recognizing that Neo is a... Oh! They even pick off another cheeky kill onto AIM.
Wow. Wow, Moon didn't even have to pop the ult. Just 2 bad impacts and a single Sanguine Claw was more than enough. Neo, he can tank it for now, but how long can he dish out this kind of damage? Oh boy, Neo is getting a little low. He has to reset, but they're losing 2 inhibitor turrets without the help of the Lord.
While we've been paying attention to the antics on the rest of Todak, we've been ignoring Moon on the Sicilian, who has been making good use of the space to completely scale up into a monster. He's sitting on a 6-0 KDA, and his damage right now, as we've seen previously, is massive.
Oh boy, it's looking tough here. It's a tough game for Team Busker. And don't forget, guys, that Rexona meant 5 times the freshness with every GG. Check out their products. Go on and scan the QR code. But back to this game, I'm waiting to see how Team Busker is going to do this. A lot of their members are so item dependent. Fade is item dependent right now. AIM is also item dependent right now. We're seeing the fleeting time coming out from Scoopboss, but I don't even think that's going to make a difference.
Indeed, the Lord's going to be pushing down the mid lane now. Team Busker forced to defend in their base. We can see in terms of items, Moon already has 4 completed with both the Holy Crystal as well as the Divine Glaive in his pocket. The rest of the team looking very healthy in terms of their net worth as well. On the opposite side, Team Busker finding difficulty getting that farm. Fade is the only one with more than 6k net worth, and now Todak is pushing in.
All right, Neo, he's getting on top of Chiku, guys, who's used Way of the Dragon already, but Neo, he's holding on with the Heart Shotgun trying to buy a little bit of time as the rest of the team tries to clear up the waves. They pull on with the Soul Bloom, but it's not good enough. The circling Eagle pulls the rest of Todak into the middle of the fight. Fade's in trouble. Sonic can't get the like and pounce off. No more iframes. Todak have done it. A clean 2-0 against Team Boskur.
Beautifully played from Todak. While the composition was a little bit different from that in game one, they made it work, and they made it work well. Team Boskur not able to find the scaling they needed, and Chiku once again proving that the jungler is not a static position and any hero has the potential to be able to pull it off.
Well done. GG, well played to Todak with a super clean 2-0 against Team Boskur, shutting down all of their strategies, whether it be pocket picks or even standard meta. They know how to punish the comfort picks of Sonic.
Whew, what a game from Todak there. Very impressive demonstration of their capabilities. I think this is just a natural evolution of Todak's playstyle. I think we're seeing a new generation of Todak, even if it is the same players. Really nice and really exciting to watch as well.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. And we're seeing that level of polish that we're hoping for. And as the weeks come closer and closer to playoffs, expect more and more out of your favorite teams. Now, guys, who do you think is going to be the MVP this time round? Or who do you decide is going to be the MVP? Use the hashtag MPL MyRealMVP and make sure you comment the player and exactly why you believe so. The most creative comments will stand a chance to win a prize.
Yep, you guys definitely want to get your hands on those mystery rewards, so show us your creative comments. We've already seen some very interesting winners beforehand, but let us have a look at the highlights powered by Yudu in the previous game. I think, honestly, this Cho jungle from Chiku kind of takes a page out of the Chiku tank jungle as well, because it does actually accomplish a similar role in that they want to give the jungle farm to a hero that wants to hit that level 4 spike ASAP and start making space for the heroes that will actually scale, in this case, Moon.
Yeah, I mean, Moon, he scaled very, very nicely on the Sicilian, but I think it's nicely done when they designed this particular team composition from Todak. They have a lot, it goes both ways, right? They've got the disengage, they've also got a strong re-engage, they've got some great mechanics to kind of lock down their opponents constantly. Again, we saw that follow-up there. Wrath of the Dryads, into the Sanguine Claw, into the Circling Eagle, and all Ajik has to do is just, hold on to Nibiru's passion for as long as possible.
Momo's Belleric is ridiculous. The things he can do with this hero, despite the fact that it's not in the meta, always getting these really beautiful Wrath of the Dryad ultimates to capture multiple members of Team Boskur. And that actually not only sets up for the Sanguine Claws, but also for the AoE ultimates coming out of Ajik on the Beatrix.
Nicely done. I mean, it really is cool to see Todak actually, expand upon their own ideas, but really polish it at the end of the day to make it cleaner, sharper, and even more efficient. They cannot be wasting their time trying things day in and day out and not looking to perfect them. And it's great to see that they are moving in that direction now.
You can see based on the items that were built here, Chiku was actually building his Cho as a bit of a semi-tank. He does have the War Axe, and it looks like he was going to complete an endless battle as well. But he started off with the Brute Force Best Plate and the Athena Shield. So yes, he was playing sort of a tank jungler. And I think this meta works out very well for Todak, because we already know that multiple members of Todak can scale to take over the game. Oftentimes in the past, they drafted in a style where they were depending very heavily on their jungler, Chiku or Ajik, to be able to take it over. But I think they're starting to grow and realize, if we reposition our heroes, if we swap lanes like this, we can actually have multiple potential damage cores.
Yeah, the multiple damage cores, it's risky to run, right? Because there's going to be so many holes in your gameplay. But Todak, they buff it up with just some strong CC, and the Matilda just kind of brings the composition all together. If you try to make a play and it fails out, at least you have a free get-out-of-jail card with the help of that Matilda. If you look over at Team Boskur's side, you can see that once the snowball gets running, AIM and as well as Fade aren't able to do too much in these fights. They want to have those single targets, but the strong CC and AoE from Todak just completely shuts down these picks.
Yep, Todak played and positioned very well during the fights, and the Belleric pick just proved to be too much of a counter to Fade. The damage reflect was just so painful. And Chiku playing on the Cho in the jungle meant that despite playing more of a semi-tank fighter position, he could still get farm very quickly and prove to be a threat against his opponents while building himself bulky enough to still be able to initiate for his team.
Yep, and man, that's why when you get the brute force breastplate, you know that he wants to look for those engage. He wants to kind of sustain. He wants to kind of shred through his opponents. So well done all across the board. Now let's look at the post-game stats here. The carry going in for Moon, the sandbag being Neo, Rich Guy coming in for Ajik, and Forgotten One going over to Moy.
Ooh, some very nice stats coming out from Todak right here. We can see in terms of the damage, Moon indeed going to be the big boy here with 50k damage total done. But right behind him is actually going to not only be Chiku, but also Momo, who was able to output a total of 26,000 damage on a tank Bellerin.
Only 300 damage, 300 to 250 rounded up. It's so nuts. It's so nuts how Todak is able to come up with these drafts and now figuring out a way to polish it even more. It just looks so good. Team Boskur, on the other hand, they got to hit the drawing board because right now this Sun pick is really starting to hurt them. Or it could be a situation of rock, paper, scissors for Todak. Again, it's just one of those teams that Team Boskur can't seem to get around.
Neo tried his best as well, managing to output a lot of damage on the Phoveus. There was a point in the mid-game where the hero was starting to become a bit of a problem for Todak, but once they identified that that was the only threat coming out from Team Boskur, they just basically focused him down every single fight, and the rest of the cores weren't able to provide any backup.
All right, let's check out the MVP of this game. Powered by KFC. It's going over to Chiku. Guys, coming in from Todak with his Cho jungle. 4-0 and 7 match KDA. 4.1 average KDA. He just makes it work.
Chiku as the MVP once again. The man just adding more to his hero repertoire every single game. Even if he's playing the same heroes, he's playing them all in different positions, and it is an absolute delight to see. Definitely the Swiss Army knife of MPL Malaysia. Looking forward to seeing what other heroes he's going to grace the Land of Dawn with in the future.
Yep, I don't know what it's going to be at this point. It could be, you know, if he brings up Thamus jungle, who are we to question this?
Who are we indeed? Chiku is basically at this point a deity for ML players to worship. If you want to learn how to play a new hero, just pray to Chiku.
I'm just imagining people having shrine and altars of it. It's just like, give me your jungle blessing. Please, give me your jungle blessing. But yeah, great game coming in from Todak here. Great evolutions. Again, nicely done. But let's see who the real MVP is. Decided by you guys.
Yep, it's going to be coming from Siddiq Zilazre. I don't know how to read your last name, dude. Sorry about that. But thank you very much for your comment, who said for him, the real MVP is Momo, that was using Akai very well, setting up for wars, aka team fights, and bringing Todak to the direction of victory. Hashtag MPL, my real MVP.
Siddiq, thank you so much. You've earned yourself the mystery reward, and he brings up a really good point here. Like, Momo now becoming an even more reliable pillar of Todak. If things are going bad, at least they know Momo will be able to hold on his own.
Momo has definitely found his niche in the MPL. I still remember when he debuted in Todak in Season 7 and he would play heroes like the Brody in the side lane. Definitely didn't work out, but guess what? He's found his place now and it's a great showing from him. Let's have a look at the standings in Group B to see if there's been any changes.
Not much again, because Todak, they were able to earn their 2-0. Even if they lost 2-0, Team Boskur wouldn't change at all. So Todak confirmed, sitting at the top of Group B with 17 total points, with Geek Fam 14 points in second, Homeboys in third with 13 points, and Team Boskur in fourth, and Red Esports at fifth.
Yeah, this is only week 5 of the MPL thus far, but things are really gonna start buckling down starting from next week, as teams will have to face off against their opponents in the other groups, and Team Boskur and Red Esports, You can see that their score is tied up right now, and neither of them wants to be at the bottom of the bracket once it comes to qualifying for the playoff.
Absolutely here. I can't wait to see what Todak has in store at this point for their interview. You know how they are like. Chiku the last time was just absolutely just going in on Vins. I mean, you know, brotherly love, of course, but let us throw it over to our analyst, LaFell, as well as Shamalo, as they go for the interview with the winners of this game. Todak, boys, take it away.
Oh,
Hello, ini coach Coach Azim.
Salam.
Bukan coach, analyst.
Oh,
Analyst Azim Alright, so anyways, first of all, nak cakap big congratulations, berjaya untuk galakkan Team Bosco. And since you are the analyst, definitely antara benda yang orang nak tanya, the drafts untuk minggu ni, bawa Akai jungle, Hylos jungle, and tadi kita dah nampak Cho jungle. Adakah ini idea, you know, you as an analyst, ataupun Chico je cakap, just percaya cakap I, and yeah, boleh nampak orang kat belakang tu, hey, very nice.
Okay, first of all, thank you. Congratulations untuk Team Todak. And second, untuk idea Hylos, Akai and Cho jungle tu, basically memang kita orang ada training pun untuk bawa. So sebab nak bagi menangkan goal lane itu je. And Moon. Nak bagi menangkan goal lane dengan Moon je.
So that's the idea, a very good insight dekat dia punya logic dengan draft tersebut. Tetapi bila cerita pasal the logic, kita boleh nampak Team Todak pada minggu ni performance yang terlampau outstanding. Nampak macam this week adalah minggu yang paling kuat untuk Team Todak. So apa yang Team Todak lakukan pada minggu lepas sampai minggu ni nampak macam dah balik kepada that championship punya level.
Kita orang banyak muhasabah diri dengan balik kepada agama balik kot.
Alhamdulillah patutlah. Saya kita lately ni bila berbual dengan MPL player, semua ingat Allah. Alhamdulillah. You ada apa soalan?
Saya ada satu soalan. Saya nak tanyalah kepada coach analyst Azim, apa yang dilakukan oleh pasukan Todak kepada Ajik sampai dia boleh perform. Kita nampak kita tak highlight dia sangat, tapi Ajik bermain 2 game dengan sangat-sangat baik. Dia gunakan lane slot, tak ada mati. Dia farming dengan sangat-sangat pantas, sangat-sangat baik, dan dia gunakan Beatrix tadi pun damage dia tak ada otak. Jadi apa yang dibasuhkan untuk Ajik perform hari ni?
Untuk Ajik tu kita orang bagi dia vaksin 3 dos. Satu lagi dos tu vaksin yang lain. Kita buat campuran vaksin.
Tiba-tiba saya rasa macam saya nak ambil extra pula. By the way, penonton kat rumah, kalau nak jadi pro player, jangan ambil vaksin ketiga, okay? Ini semua lawak saja. I cakap for legal reasons. For legal reasons. Tapi macam mana pun, thank you very much for the very good interview. I suka cara macam mana you jawab soalan. Tetapi sebelum I lepaskan, ada tak apa-apa yang analyst Hazim nak cakap apa-apa kepada semua peminat Team Todak?
Okay, ada 3 sebenarnya. Okay, first satu, Ikuto yang handsome, dia tanya, kenapa Fira tak undi Todak? Kesian kita orang, dia cakap.
Kena tanya dia jadi.
Okay. Saya tulis kat sini. Okay. Yang kedua saya sebenarnya nak terima kasih kepada Cik New, Cik Lat, Ashi dan Iwan yang banyak tolong saya dalam professional message sebab saya kan baru lagi, and saya terbanyak terima kasih kepada dorang lah. Okay, good.
Teruskan. Okay, yang ketiga, saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada family saya and fan-fan Todak yang sentiasa sokong kita orang Todak walaupun kalah ke menang ke, always sokong Todak. Okay, Todak langgar.
Alright, mantap. Again, very good interview dengan you. Sekarang I akan lepaskan. Thank you very much. And Shamilo.
Yeah.
Bila kita interview dan mereka bagi jawapan-jawapan keagamaan, I tak lawan balik dah.
Kita macam okay, benda tu betul.
Betul.
Bukan tak betul, tapi kita kat sini rasa macam
Tapi
Sentak.
tadi kita boleh tengok analis dia ada 3 benda nak
Betul,
cakap.
3 benda.
Saya ada 2 benda nak cakap. Nombor 1, jangan ambil vaksin ketiga. jangan campur-campur, just ikut apa yang dah diberitahu. Dan kedua adalah kita punya campaign TikTok. Of course, semua orang nak diamonds dan ada yang nak gaming chair. So make sure you guys tunjuk you guys punya support kepada team MPL. Ingat #SAPOT Team MPL. Cara nak join sangat-sangat senang. Just buat a TikTok video. Tak ada halangan apa jenis konten yang nak dilakukan. Cuma perlu letak #support Team MPL, SAPOT dan juga mention @MPLMY supaya kita boleh nampak anda punya video. Kemudian follow Facebook page, Instagram page dan juga TikTok page sebab kita akan update setiap minggu siapakah pemenang pada minggu ini. Dan again, kalau nak tahu apa yang boleh dimenangkan, nombor 1 adalah 1000 diamond setiap minggu bermula 10 September hingga 20 Oktober. Dan juga kita punya grand prize, Secret Lab Omega 2020 Stealth Gaming Chair daripada Secret Lab. So make sure buat banyak-banyak TikTok, #support Team MPL dan @MPLMY.
Ya, dan itulah apa ganjaran yang anda boleh dapatkan sebenarnya, Lafel. Banyak yang diberikan kepada anda. Jangan lupa untuk merebut peluang ini.
Ya, and dekat hari ini, Team Todak, mereka dah naikkan I punya semangat. As a Todak punya fan, nampak yang diorang jumpa identity baru dan analis sangat-sangat membantu dengan macam mana diorang punya gameplay. And I suka yang diorang ada logic dalam menggunakan draft tersebut. Bukan satu lagi.
Satu lagi, awak kena tanya Fira sekejap lagi.
Yang Fira tu nanti saya tanyalah. Tapi untuk tanya Fira, kita kena pergi kepada short break. So again guys, jangan lupa untuk support Team MPL berpeluang untuk dapatkan diamond. Kita akan berehat sebentar tapi kita akan kembali selepas ini.